Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Woollyferret podcast. My name's Lisa and I'm coming to you from Derbyshire in England. This is a podcast about knitting, crochet and sewing, with the odd book review thrown in and possibly some other crafts in the future. So welcome everybody, thank you for joining me. If you'd like to find me on other areas of the internet, I'm on Instagram as Lisa Saxton, and we have the Woollyferret group on Ravelry, and I also have a personal account on Ravelry, is Lisa Saxton. And you can contact me via messaging via either of those two places, Instagram or Ravelry, or via email, which is the woollyferretpodcast@gmail.com. And I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that's messaged me or sent me an email with kind messages. It really is a boost because you make a podcast and you're not sure how it's being perceived out there. So when people send me feedback or take the time to comment below or message me on Instagram or email, it's really lovely. So thank you very much for anybody that's taken the time to do that. So how is everybody? How has your November been? My November's been a bit of a mixed bag. I've realised that I don't like November. Just the dark nights and the weather's been foul this year. I just don't, something about November isn't for me, really. And I don't know if you remember my last episode, I was going to encourage my husband to play some board games with me and perhaps take some time out from the interwebs, which I have done. I have spent a few days this month not going on social media and that sort of thing, but we didn't get around to playing any games, mostly because I suffer from migraines and I've managed to have three of those bad boys this month, which hasn't been pleasant. Normally I think they're hormone related, in all honesty, but normally I can stave them off with a migraine tablet that I've been prescribed, but one of them was absolutely horrific, and then two follow-up episodes which weren't as bad but still, yeah. So that was a bit of a downer. So that sort of knocked out 3 days, and then I usually don't feel well the next day either. I still have to go to work, unfortunately, and that's the problem as well. So yeah, bit of a downer, but never mind. So I am drinking some tea out of my Christmassy winter mug. I get it out for the winter. It's an Emma Bridgewater mug again. Gorgeous pattern. And on the inside I don't know if I mentioned on the last podcast, I may have done, but I buy my Emma Bridgewater mugs when they're in sale. They have a 60% off sale, and their seconds, their mugs have some slight mistakes in them, but I can never ever find, I think I've got odd one where I can actually see the little error, but it doesn't detract from the mug in any way. So that's when I buy my mugs, because they can be quite expensive, but I really like them, so I tend to buy them then. And the tea I'm drinking, I found a new tea, I don't know what you call them, creator, maker, that's local to me. We went to a Christmas fair at Matlock, which is a village not far from where I live, and there was a tea stall, and it's called Cup and Saucer. I'll just show you this. And they do sell online, and I'll put the details up here, but I think it's just cupandsaucer.com, but I will put the details up there. And this one's called Orange Tip Butterfly. It's got dried apples, hibiscus, rosehip petals, cranberry, natural dried orange peel, and natural flavourings. Oh yeah, it's cupandsauceronline.co.uk, but I will put the details up there. And this is absolutely gorgeous tea. and I'm trying to move away from drinking too much caffeine, so it was lovely to find these. But she does another flavour called the Pennine Picnic. Oh, that was delicious. I've drunk it all. There's none left, and I don't know what's in it because I threw the packet away, but I have ordered some more tea from her online, so hopefully that will be coming soon. And she does sample packs with this little samples of all her teas, so that will be lovely. So I'm really looking forward to that. And today I've been practicing a little bit of self-care, and it might not be what you expect. I have been batch cooking today, and for me that's self-care, because I know that this is going to be a really busy week, and I leave home for work in the dark, come home in the dark. I'm a civil servant, so I work for the government, and I work full-time, but I do a condensed working week, so I do full-time hours over 4 days, which means I get to have a Monday off, which is great, but it means my other days are really long days because I've got to make up the hours. So I find that if I'm more organised and prepared for the week ahead, I'm much more relaxed. I don't get so stressed, and it just makes things easier. So I've been cooking all our dinners for the week today. So I've made things like cottage pie, pasta and meatball sauce, a lovely winter vegetable stew, that sort of thing, just to have ready. So all they have to do is to be heated up, and it means we're getting still eating healthier, trying to eat a lot healthier, and I'm not resorting to takeaways or ready meals as much. We still do have some ready meals every now and then, and I don't mind that odd takeaway. But last week I was absolutely exhausted. I ended up working Monday last week as well as my normal long days, and I was absolutely exhausted, and we just ate rubbish and we felt dreadful. So in the interest of self-care, I've prepared a load of meals today so that the rest of the week will be a lot easier for me. And my husband's also doing overtime at work, so he's doing really long days as well, so it will be really great for us to come home to that. So that's what I've been doing today. So yeah, all in all, I'm glad November's over and we're moving into December. I have put a few festive things up, and I will have a look at a couple of those things in a moment. You'll have to excuse me. I have found I'm quite itchy today, and I keep having to scratch, so I do apologise. I don't know why. I don't know whether I've been rushing around and got a bit warm or something. I don't know. Anyway, so let's move on to the mail and announcing the make-along winners. So in my last episode I announced that I wanted to do a creative challenge make-along for people to try something new or outside of their comfort zone, something that challenged them a little bit. There was no need to finish the object, and it didn't have to be a success. It was all about just having a go and trying something different. And thank you to everybody that entered that. Really some lovely posts, both in the chatter thread and in the finished, or in the object thread. Not necessarily finished, because you didn't have to finish them. So I was really pleased with how that went. So for the winners, so first prize will be, I've made 2 bags, and the first prize winner will get the choice of the bag. So the 2 bags are, firstly, I've made with this gorgeous bee fabric. So isn't that just lovely? I really like that. And inside it's lined with some lovely florals, and I've also put my logo in there. So that's bag number 1. This is just a little sock size bag, small cowl, scarf, mitts, that sort of thing. So it's just a little bag. and it's made using the Michelle's Patterns grocery bag pattern with, I've modified the handles to go this way rather than across, and I've added some lining. So that is bag number 1. I just love this fabric. These bees are gorgeous. But then I equally love this bag. Something about this fabric, I don't know what it is, I just love it. So the next bag, I've made the next size up, so I've made a medium, same style, but I wanted to showcase the fabric because it's absolutely gorgeous. So this has got balloons on it and globe picture. I just love how this came out, this bag. So this is a much bigger bag for shawls, possibly a jumper. It's lined with this lovely checked lining, and again, one of my logos. Please be aware, if you are a winner of the bags, as I've said before, I am not a bag maker. I don't do this professionally. I don't have the skill to do it professionally, but I love making them, and I get real pleasure out of choosing the fabric and putting the bags together. So they are made with lots of love and care, but not lots of skill. So, but they're still lovely. I really like them. So that's just a caveat if you receive one of my bags, either in this make along or another. So first prize will be a choice of one of those bags. This gorgeous skein of yarn from Hooks and Die, absolutely lovely. And we also had an absolutely generous gift from Lorraine from the Alanist Crafts podcast. I will put the details up here. I will also try and link in the comments in the description bar below. I'm not very good at linking, so I will do my best. But Lorraine sent me a message and asked if I would like her to donate something for the make along and some stitch markers, and I said absolutely, that would be lovely. And this is what she sent. She sent a few packets, so here's one. So these are snowflakes and snowmen. So that will be a part of first prize. So you'll get the choice of bag, the stitch markers, the large skein of yarn, and of course, not forgetting the book. I've nearly lost it. This Kate Davies book. Pre-loved book because I've already read it, as I reviewed it in my last podcast. So yes, first prize will also receive that book. So I have my show notes here. Let's have a look. So I did a random number generator, and it was post number 4. So that's Nina Camilleri. I hope I've pronounced your name right, Nina. You know how I am with pronunciations, really poor. Nina did a few entries, but this entry was her Christmas stocking that she did with absolutely no pattern. She did say it came out long and thin and she couldn't fit presents in it, but I absolutely adored it. The colours that she chose and the pattern was just beautiful. So that was really lovely. So thank you, Nina. Nina also made another stocking that she did use a pattern for, which was really cute. And then she made these gorgeous Christmas ornaments with a robin, I think a snowman. I'm trying to remember, I think there were 3 of them. So if you want to have a look at those, have a look in the Ravelry group. I will try and put pictures up here of them, but I don't know how to do that from Ravelry. If I can, if they don't appear, it means I didn't figure it out. So Nina, if you could please contact me either via Ravelry or email or Instagram and message me your address, And if you could also please let me know if you like tea, and if you do, I'll pop some tea in for you as well. So thank you so much, Nina, for your entries. So second prize will be whichever bag Nina doesn't choose. Oh, Nina, if you could please let me know which bag you would like. So either the flower bag or the balloon bag. So you need to send me your address, whether you like tea, and whether you want the flower bag or the balloon bag, please. And then that would be great. So second prize will be whichever bag is left after Nina makes first choice, which I think both the bags are lovely, so I think whichever is okay. And the, oh, you have to excuse me, I've just dropped something on the floor. Okay, so second prize is going to be some Kate Celine minis. So I have 2 Kate Celine minis here. These are lovely. I love Kate Celine yarn. My favourite pair of socks, which I will show one day on here, are made from Kate Celine's yarn, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So it'll be a bag made by me, 2 Kate Celine minis, and then some more stitch markers donated by the lovely Lorraine from the Alan S Crafts podcast. And these come on a, I'll try and show you these. I don't know how well they'll show up, but these are various Christmas stitch markers. So cute. So they will also be part of second prize. So the second prize winner was post number 10, and that's Em's Little Nest. So that's Emma. So thank you, Emma. She made a brioche scarf, which was really lovely. I loved the colours she chose. They were like neutral colours, really nice. And so she was trying brioche for the first time. Oh, it came out absolutely lovely. Really well done, Emma. So thank you for that entry. If you again could message me either by Ravelry, Instagram or email with your address, and also whether you like tea, and you will receive your prize in the post shortly. Now, I was only going to do 2 prizes, and then I was in the festive mood, and because it's so close to Christmas, I thought actually I'm going to do one more. So I have one more little prize to give away. So a third prize will be Kate Celine minis from the lovely Kate Celine, and some stitch markers. I can't get these ones out because they're not on a ring and I don't want to drop them, but it's got Christmas trees and snowflakes. So some more stitch markers that were donated by Lorraine. Absolutely gorgeous. And I haven't made another bag. I didn't have time, unfortunately, but I have this lovely, how cute is that? Just this little bag from Loop London. So this will be another prize for one more person. So on the prize generator, it was post number 14, and that was Susan. Hi, Susan. I do know Susan from Instagram. I don't know her personally, but we've been friends a little while on Instagram and often comment on each other's posts, which is nice. So Susan attempted to make a colourwork cushion using intarsia, which was going great guns, but didn't do a gauge swatch, and then realised quite a way into this cushion, she'd done a lot of work on it, that it was going to be far too big. So she's posted it because she's given it a go, absolutely, but she's going to have to rip it all out and start again. So that's a shame, but I think it's going to be fabulous when it gets done. But well done for giving it a go, Susan. So if you could do the same, either message me via Instagram, Ravelry, or email me your address, and also let me know whether or not you like tea. That would be great, and I will get your prizes in the post. So thank you so much for everybody that took part and really embraced that make along. I think I might do one again similar next year, but run it for longer, to give people a chance to have a good go at things, but not till, you know, quite well into next year. I just wanted to also give a shout out to other people who took part in that. So just thank you for taking part to Miss Molly, who's Molly, and Molly made mittens from scratch, really gorgeous mittens, and she made the pattern up herself. She saw a pattern on Ravelry that wasn't in English, so she decided to have a go at see if she could just make up a pattern herself to match the pattern or similar to the pattern that she saw. And the mitts turned out absolutely gorgeous, so well done, Molly. And then Colson 111322, which is Kelly. Hello, Kelly. Kelly's won a prize from me before. So thank you for taking part, Kelly. Kelly had a go at doing the fish lips kiss heel. That's something that I've had in my Ravelry library for ages, and I was a bit like you, Kelly. I kept thinking, oh, I don't know if I can be bothered to draw around my foot and make the cardboard cutout. But you have inspired me to actually crack on and do that, so I think I'm going to give that a go, because I would like some more heels in my arsenal. So then Lorraine from L&S Crafts had a go at doing the Sockmatician toe up socks, and she did that because she wanted to be able to do toe up socks so that she could see how much yarn she'd used, so she could use up all her yarn, whereas if you do cuff down, you don't always know. So they were a really nice pair of socks that Lorraine had a go at. And then we've got Sharon, who's Shaz438, and Sharon had a go at colour work, really gorgeous, good go at colour work as well. So thank you, Sharon. And Sharon also has a podcast, which is Sharon Crafty Creations, which I subscribe to. So thank you for taking part as well, Sharon. So yes, thank you to everybody that took part in that make along. So the other thing I thought I would quickly tell you about before we move along to the knitting section is this. This is a advent calendar, a yarny advent calendar made by Opal. My husband bought me this, not this year, he bought it me last September, so September 2017. But when he bought it for me, I'd already pre-ordered another advent calendar from Nora George. So I didn't want to open two, so I saved this one, put it away in the loft, left it in its big box that it came in, didn't open it, and got it out for this year. And I'm so glad I saved it, because I couldn't afford to pre-order or order an advent calendar this year, because our heating system needs replacing in the new year. It's working, but just barely. So this is the lovely Opal advent calendar. It's like a big book, like a big storybook. And you open it up, a little window obviously, and inside you get a little Opal mini, gorgeous little ball of yarn. Ooh. How cute is they? So yeah, I'm absolutely thoroughly enjoying that. So that is my Opal advent calendar. And I thought that was really good value for money, because I think it was about £60, which isn't cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but it works out about £2.50 per mini, and they're 15 grams each. So I thought that was pretty good value for money. So yeah, really enjoying that. So that's it, I think, for this section. So we'll move on to the next section now. Oh, there was one thing before we move on to the next section, actually. I did have a look at everybody's comments and emails and comments below and on Ravelry, etc. And I said I would have a look to see where everybody was watching from. And so I've collated everything, and it's really interesting. So we have people watching from the USA, we have people from California, New Jersey, Portland, Oregon, Wisconsin and Indiana, people watching from the UK, Kent, Gloucestershire, Durham, Essex, Cumbria, Surrey, Suffolk and Somerset. And we have somebody from Sydney, Australia. We have somebody watching from New Zealand, somebody from the Netherlands, and we also have somebody from Japan who I've mentioned before. And our Japanese viewer, well, she's not Japanese, she lives in Japan, but she's British, and that's Vicky from Ice Flower Crochet. And Ice Flower Crochet is her podcast. So she does a lovely little podcast, and she started the same time as me and found my podcast as she was editing her podcast, and just posted her first podcast, and I just posted my first podcast. So that was really lovely. And in Vicky's second episode, I think she mentions, she shows, I think it's a second episode, she shows her craft room and shows you around, and she mentions that she has to attach the shelving to the walls because of the earthquakes, for safety reasons, so that they don't fall over on somebody. How nuts is that? I just found that absolutely crazy, and just shows you how different people have to do different things in their lives depending on where they live. So yeah, if you get a chance, pop across and watch Vicky's podcast. So thank you everybody that took the time to comment and let me know where you're from, and I'm sure there's many others of you out there that haven't commented. So I just wanted to say hi to you as well. So yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's talk about knitting. For the knitting section, I have got my challenge that I did as part of my make along. So I wanted to make the beeswax hat by Baroque Pearls, Amy Vandelar from Baroque Pearls, and this is the pattern. It's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I bought this as, you can buy them individually, I bought this as a part of a set. So there's the hat, the mitts and the cowl. So I had a go at making that. The yarn I ordered was from Jelly Bean Yarns, and it's in the ochre colorway. This is the colorway. I ordered another skein because I want to have a go at making the mitts, so I ordered another skein of this because I absolutely adore how this hat came out. So I will introduce you to Henrietta. Hi Henrietta. So this is Henrietta, and this is her, well, my hat. She's wearing my hat. How beautiful is that? Now, I haven't blocked this hat because I've been wearing it. As soon as it was off the needles, I wanted to wear it. Let's try and show you some of the detailing on it. It's absolutely gorgeous, this hat. Really, I found it really quite a quick make. I did make some mistakes and have to rip back. And Amy does this really lovely tutorial for the cables, so that you don't have to do cable needles. And so she does a little tutorial on YouTube, and the links in there on Ravelry where the pattern is. And it was a really straightforward, easy to follow tutorial, and it really stuck once you got the hang of it. Really easy. And really weirdly, I did try and use cable needles for the first oh, excuse me, I've got a grumbly tummy. Hope you can't hear that. For my first attempt, I did try the cable needles just to see how easy they were to use, and these cables didn't pop out as much, so I'd made a mistake, so I'd ripped out anyway, and then thought, oh no, I'm going to do it the way the pattern suggests, and I think it came out absolutely lovely. So I would really recommend that pattern. And as I said, I'm going to make the mitts. I was thinking of making the cowl, but then I remembered I have a crocheted this beautiful Hotel of Bees shawl. And I wear this quite often. I love this. This is, I can't remember who, Christina Haddering, Hotel of Bee shawls on Ravelry. I'll put the details up there. I used Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmerino, and the details of which colours I used you can find on my Ravelry account. And it came out absolutely lovely, and the yarn's really soft. So yeah, Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmerino in various 3 different colourways. Really lovely, and it goes gorgeous with that hat. So I think I'm just going to do the mitts and not do the cowl. I don't know, see how much wool I've got left on that. So that was my challenge for myself, and I'm so glad that I had a go at that, and I really enjoyed it, and it's come out beautifully. And then I also thought I was going to be showing you my Strictly socks, because I thought I've finished them now, and I did show you the first one last podcast. So I went to get them out. Look at this. I haven't finished them at all. This Kitchener stitch needs doing on this last one. So I need to get that done so I can post it in the finished objects thread in Little Drops of Wonderful's Ali's Strictly Sock Along. I honestly thought I'd finished them and thought, oh, I need to get those socks blocked. I'll get them out for the podcast and then I'll block them. Yes, haven't even finished them. Fancy leaving them at the Kitchener stitch. I don't know what, because I think I need to concentrate on Kitchener. I don't know if anybody else, but sometimes I do it absolutely beautifully, perfect. I have to read how to do it every time, I can't remember. And then other times I do it and I make a complete mess of it. It really baffles me how, so I really need to concentrate on that to do that. I think that's it for the knitting section. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else on knitting. No, knitting's been a bit thin on the ground. Having said that, that hat did take me quite a while. I think sometimes we can be quite dismissive on the things that we do and actually how much work we put into things. That hat did take me quite a while to do. A couple of weeks, I think, and I did concentrate on it because I really enjoyed it, so I was solely knitting on that and nothing else. So although I did do my Strictly socks, so I finished it 2 weeks I think, and then concentrated on my Strictly socks. So yeah, so that's it for knitting. Okay, so time to chat crochet. What have I been crocheting? Well, I decided to make some slippers for my mother-in-law for Christmas. So I have made these. They do curl up initially. Once you start wearing them, they do flatten out, these bases. So they've got a base, it's double felted base, and then crocheted slipper. And I've got a pair of those, obviously, because she can't wear one slipper. And these are made using the Joe's Toes pattern that I talked about in my last episode. So they are Joe's Toes, and I don't think I'm showing you anything if I show you this. So this is it. Joe's Toes ladies crochet slippers. I think you can find just the pattern. I'm sure you can. and they've got a website, Joe's Toes website, and I'll put the details up here for you. It's joestoes.co.uk. But I buy, I've made some before for my husband, and I buy a kit. So I got the 2 different coloured yarns in the kit, so the plain colour and this colour. Got 2 soles, one with a non-slip under it, and then a lighter sole. Will that focus? No. I don't think it's going to focus very well, but a lighter sole for on top of that. So you get 2 soles, the wool, and you get the pattern, and you also get some heavy duty cord for sewing the soles together. So yeah, they have turned out absolutely lovely. So I've made them for my mother-in-law for Christmas, because she saw my husband's and really liked them. I don't think I've shown these on the last podcast. Did I show you these already? I don't know. Well, if I've shown these already, I apologise. I've shown you again now because they're lovely. So that's the slippers that I've made for my mother-in-law. I don't know whether this is really crochet or sewing, but I will show you. Just bear with me. I finished off my weekender bag. So this is the weekender bag by who is it by? Addict 24, Lucy from Addict 24. So this is it. Isn't it lovely? I've used this bag for when we go out walking. So this is the weekender bag by Addict 24, and I've put the magnetic clasp on so that it shuts, but I've also lined it. I wanted to line it so that I can have keys and stuff in it, so I've lined it with this bluebird fabric, I suppose, and I also lined the strap because I didn't want the strap stretching. I've done an extra long strap, much longer than the pattern calls for, because I like to wear it across body, so it goes across my body and then sits on my hip, and it's the perfect size for that, and it sits lovely. It holds a ridiculous amount of stuff. I mean, I had in there my purse, which is quite large, my phone, my keys, a bottle of pop, and my hat and my beeswax hat and my Hotel of Bees shawl, all in there at one point. Yeah, so I absolutely love this bag. You can, the pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry, so it's the Weekender bag by Addict 24, but I bought this as a kit from Wool Warehouse. It came with all the wool, so and the wool is the Stylecraft chunky, I want to say. It's a thick wool. I'm not 100% sure. I will have a look and try and put the details up here, but it's a really quick make because of the thickness of the wool, and it's all Stylecraft acrylic, 100% acrylic wool. So that was finishing that project off, which I finished that bag, the crocheting element of that bag, oh, I hate to imagine how long ago, months and months ago. So it's taken me ages to finish it off. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that. Just get things almost to the end and then it takes me ages to finish them. Anyway, the other thing that I'm crocheting is this shawl. Hopefully you can see that all right. So that's the Treasure Island shawl from the lovely Hannah from the Crochet Cottage podcast, and I got this for free. Hannah did on Instagram. I don't know if you're on Instagram, you'll be aware that around, I think it's October time, November, they do a get your wishes granted thing where you post on there things that you would like. I don't generally post about what I want, but Hannah did a reverse of that. So she posted that if you were one of the first people or the first 10 people to comment below her post, got a free copy of her shawl pattern. So I was very lucky to post, and she granted that to me and gave me a free copy of her shawl pattern. I granted a few wishes. I sent some Nora George minis off to somebody, and I sent Hannah some tea, some cold brew tea that Tetley do. I sent her a couple of boxes of that, and I also sent some patterns to a few people. So I thought it was really lovely this year. So I received that from Hannah, and I've made a start. This is living in my yarn bowl with a pen in it. So this is my yarn bowl that my husband bought me. How beautiful is that? Oh, there's something about wood that just is so evocative and tactile, and I don't know what it is. I just absolutely love wood. So this is a yarn bowl that I got, I think, for my birthday this year from my husband. And the wool I'm using is this. I think the white's coming up quite white there. It's blowing out a little bit. And this is Casual Fashion Cream. And the colourway is Mermaid's Dream 75/25 merino nylon, fingering weight yarn. And I received this as a gift from a swap that I did with a swap partner in America. We agreed to do a swap, and I got this lovely wool from her. So I thought that was really, really nice. I'm not going to name her because I don't want to name her if I don't know if she watches this podcast or would want to be named. But that was part of a swap package. So it's really nice to be using this wool. And this is where I am so far. So I'm part way in. The only thing I do find, which is a little bit of a shame, is you lose some of the pattern detail because of the, I don't even know if you could see that, because of the colour of the wool, colourway that I'm using. The pattern's so pretty, and I think it would look lovely in a plain. Can you see that? Yeah, so every now and then there's sections that have a bit of pattern in it, but I still think it's gorgeous. It's going to look lovely once it's done. So I'm up to the halfway point now, well, almost the halfway point to middle section. So that's good. I did read in Ravelry that a few people had to play yarn chicken with it. So I weighed what yarn I've got left, and I've got 58 grams, and there's a little bit of a section like this that I'm still to do, and then the second half, so I'm pretty sure that I won't have to play yarn chicken. It's designed for 1 skein of fingering weight yarn, which is lovely because I've been looking for a 1 skein project because I have some beautiful fingering weight yarn that I don't necessarily want to make socks out of, but a lot of shawl patterns or patterns you need you need more than 1 skein of yarn. So I was really pleased to see that. Excuse me, I'm scratching again. So yes, so that is that one. And then I wanted to show you something that I haven't started yet, but I've made one before. So if you excuse me, I'll grab him. So this is my little crocheted elf. His name's Newfool. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll put the name up here. And this is a paid for pattern, and I think I found it via Ravelry, but I think it takes you to a website where you buy the pattern from. Absolutely adorable, quick, easy make. I absolutely love him. It comes out at Christmas, and I'm going to make another one because I really like him. I don't have my copy of the pattern. I looked for it to show you, but I can't find it, so I'll have to put the details up here. But I also have him on Ravelry for the details on there. And the wool that I used is Jenny Watson Pure Merino double knitting wool. And I just got this from my local yarn store. I'm just showing you this colour because it's the only one I've got the label on, but I used red, a cream and a blue for him. Oh, I've lost the green. Excuse me one moment. I don't know what possessed me to make him out of pure merino. I don't know whether this wool was on sale or it was just reasonably priced or it was just the colours that I wanted. I have no idea. But I have, when I sewed him up, in the bottom I have put some rice in some cling film. So I've wrapped some rice in some cling film, just a little bit, to weigh him down. And I have also, to make his hat nice and stiff and stand up like that, I've put some garden wire in there, and not that really thin garden wire, but you can get some in hardware stores here. I don't know whether it was B&Q or somewhere like that. You can get some thicker garden wire, and it's about, I don't know, it's not as thick as a pen, probably half as thick as a pen, sort of a knitting needle size 6 or something thickness, coated in plastic, this wire, and I've used that to make his hat. And the pink yarn for his nose is just a DK acrylic yarn that I had in my stash, just flesh coloured yarn, and I just love him. So I'm going to be making another one. Pop him back over here. And there you go, Newful. So I'm going to make another one, but making his body in the green. So I can remember him being really quick. I made him last year before Christmas and I really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping he was as quick as I remember it. So that will be it for crochet. I don't think I've got anything else to show in the crochet section. So we'll move on to books, I think. So if you aren't interested in a book review, then thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you again. And if you are interested in what I've been reading, and I also announced the winner of the book from last month's episode, so please hang around and we will move on to the book section. Okay, so before we move on to what I've been reading, I just wanted to announce who this book would be going to. So we had 2 people comment that they would like this book. So I have my piece of paper here with the winner on that, and the person who will be receiving the book in the post is Corinne Roach. So Corinne, I don't know, I have had a Corinne as a prize winner before, but I never got their last name. I just posted it to a Corinne. So Corinne, I don't know if you're the same person or not, so if you could message me to let me know your address, just in case you're not the same person, that would be great. So either by Ravelry, Instagram or email. And I will send you this book out in the post and hope that you really enjoy it. So the next book that I have been reading is this one. So this is the 16 Trees of the Somme by Lars Mitting, and he is the author of Norwegian Wood. Now, from what I gather, Norwegian Wood is actually a book about wood. And this one is a novel, and I will read you the back. It said, Edvard grows up on a remote mountain farmstead in Norway with his taciturn grandfather. The death of his parents when he was 3 years old has always been shrouded in mystery. Edvard's desperate quest to unlock the family's secrets takes him on a long journey from Norway to the Shetlands and to the battlefields of France to discover a very unusual inheritance. The 16 Trees of the Somme is finely crafted mystery about the love of wood and finding your own self, a beautifully intricate and moving tale that spans an entire century. So the main character in this is Edvard, as it says, and Edvard grew up with his grandfather and grandmother after his parents died. And it's a little unclear how his parents died. He doesn't, they say they drowned, but he doesn't really know, because he was with them and went missing briefly, and then he was found and brought up by his grandparents. So this is about him trying to find out, discover what actually happened to his parents, and sort of just discover what happened between the relationship between his grandfather and his grandfather's brother, who were estranged. They took different sides in the war. So his grandfather fought with the Germans, and his grandfather's brother fought with the resistance. So they had this confliction going on in the family, and that made the brothers estranged. So he had that, his uncle lived on the Shetlands, so he goes to the Shetlands to find out about his uncle for various reasons. The book leads him, in the book the story tells you why he goes there. It's really enjoyable, really interesting, because it describes wood, and as you know from when I was describing my yarn bowl, something about wood is just, as I love this table behind me, just the feel of wood and the different patterns in wood. So I found really interesting in this the nod to wood and different aspects, and here the Edvard's granddad's brother is a cabinet maker or carpenter, and so he had a very strong, obviously, relationship with wood and how different patterns in wood are formed, and the story's intricately woven with all sorts of different links to wood. So I found that really interesting. One thing I didn't really like about it is one of the female characters in the book I wasn't too keen on, so I found them quite irritating. So that was a little bit, probably the only thing that I didn't like about the book is I just didn't like one of the female characters. But don't let that put you off, because it was a good read, and you know, you really do want to find out what happened to Edvard's parents, and what happened to make the brothers really dislike each other, apart from the differing sides in the war. There was a lot more going on there. So yeah, it was really interesting book. 16 Trees of the Somme, again another different one, another sort of mystery type, not a thriller, just a mystery type novel, written with a different aspect into it, with being the wood. So yeah, so the 16 Trees of the Somme by Lars Mitting. So if you're interested and you would like to win this pre-loved copy of this book, then as usual, please comment in the comments below, just making it clear that you want to be entered into the book giveaway. So just in your comment, just write book please, book entry, something like that, so that I know that you want to be entered into the book draw. So that's what I've been reading. I know that a few people had also mentioned in the comments in YouTube that they like listening to audiobooks, and I have listened to audiobooks on CDs quite some time ago when I've been driving, but they were quite expensive, and so I only got a couple, but I haven't really listened to them since. So I noticed that Audible was doing a free trial for a month, so I thought I would give that a go. So I signed up for the free trial and I got one free book. So I chose Michelle Obama's Becoming. So it's narrated by Michelle Obama as well, which makes it really nice, and I'm really enjoying that. It's an interesting, it's obviously a autobiography, and it tells her whole life, and I'm up to where she's I think she's got engaged to Barack Obama. I'm not sure, no, and the wedding, I'm up to the wedding where they got married, but it's about her life at school and university and her parents and that sort of thing. Not so political, so if you're not into politics, there is obviously, there's political aspects and law in there because she studied law and whatnot, but actually just really interesting read. So I'm enjoying that, really enjoying listening to that, and I listen instead of, I try not to look at my phone when I go to bed, so I listen to that of an evening before I go to sleep for 20 minutes, and I've also listened to it in the car a couple of times. And then I had to go to London the other week on the train, so I also had a long session of listening to and from London, which is about 2 and a bit hours each way on the train to that. So thank you for people who pointed me in the direction of audiobooks. It's really good. I don't think I will subscribe to Audible just because I don't think I will get the value from the monthly subscription, but I do know a few people had said when they posted that their libraries do audiobook sort of lending, and I've had a look and my library does do that, so I've downloaded the app. I've just got to register for it, so when I finish listening to this Michelle Obama one, I think I'm going to have a look and see what the library has to offer in audiobooks, so that'll be good. Yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you very, very much for taking the time to join me for my podcast this month, and if you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have an absolutely lovely time, and if you don't, I hope you have a nice, peaceful, relaxing holiday season. And please remember that it's really easy to get caught up in the rush and the overspending and all the things that Christmas shouldn't be about and the holiday season shouldn't be about. So please take some time to just take a breather and take some calm, quiet time for yourself if you can. It's not always easy. I know I've struggled in the past, and I know right up until Christmas I'm going to be really busy at work, hence my self-care of meal planning. That's just to give me some time out of the evenings. I know I can sit and relax in the evenings. Hopefully my house is a tip, needs cleaning, and the decorations aren't up yet, so somewhere in there I'm going to squeeze some relaxing time. And yes, so best wishes to you all, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.